Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and in this video here I'm going to be showing you how to complete Durlag's Tower level 3. So as you can see, I have the whole map shown here because I'm going to give you an overview of every single area before we get started. So in my opinion, this northern portion here is the easiest to complete, and one thing that's worth saying is this level is mostly a combat trial versus anything else. There's really not many puzzles here. I guess kind of at the end there's a puzzle, but more so it's a level that is testing your character's combat abilities. So anyway, this top portion is probably the easiest one. There's a couple wyverns up here that you have to kill. They hit very, very hard. However, you get help from these statues. This middle portion is probably the hardest. There's a bunch of skeletons here with cloud kill traps that will incapacitate your characters if you run over them. Your characters will get knocked down, then they'll be completely vulnerable to all of the skeletons' attacks. Last but not least, you have this bottom right section here, which is kind of, I would describe it as the rogue area. Oops, I don't want to send my characters down there. I would describe it as the rogue area, and by that I mean there's a lot of Asherukus, I think they're called, that roam around this area, and what they do is they basically just jump out of the shadows and backstab you. That is their main quirk. So either the top or the bottom area is usually the best to get from one side to the other. These bottom areas here that you see on the bottom side of the map, these 4 rooms, each of these has a different set of enemies, and inside those rooms you have to fight the enemies, and then you have to clear all 4 rooms, and once you've cleared all 4 rooms, you'll be teleported to a location that is considered the chessboard. And the chessboard, it's essentially the last event of level 3, and then you can move on, to level 4. I will talk about the chessboard when I get there. I will also talk about those 4 rooms that I just brought up when I get over to that location. Right now I'm going to summon these warriors to fight with me. There we go. Now I just activated all of these statues. Now I will allow these warriors to do most of the fighting with these wyvern enemies. Because it doesn't matter if these warriors take damage. The only one that I don't want taking damage is Dorn, which is, funnily enough, the one being attacked right now. My Dorn and my characters are pretty powerful, though. I'm also playing on a lower difficulty. Not quite story mode difficulty, but I'm playing on easy or whatever it is, where you get like a bonus to luck and all of that fun stuff. Ideally, what you don't want to happen is you don't want these wyverns to hit other people in your party, your squishy characters. Like, them hitting Nero would probably one-shot her. Them hitting Ski would probably one-shot her. And the same would be true for nobody else. Rasad will probably be able to take 1 or 2 hits. So let me show you this skeleton area next, and how to do it. That's not good. Okay, good. So that middle area here doesn't actually one-shot your characters. I thought it did. That's good to know. It will actually damage the skeletons as they run through that room, though. Something to keep in mind. But when we're doing the middle area here with all of these skeletons, you want to pull the skeletons back. Not pulling the skeletons back will, and wow, that is an annoying fear. Not pulling the skeletons back will result in you running out into the traps and then having to deal with the skeletons plus the traps, and it will be absolute anarchy. Kind of like my character's running all over the place right now. Rasad, please don't do that. Dorn, you're getting your butt beat. So that, I've actually never seen that character do that before. And by that, what I mean is I've never seen those characters pop fear the second they broke. Fear in this game is not like other games. It actually lasts like minutes, which is why you see my character still running around over and over. I'm sure if you've made it to this point in the game too, you're acquainted with that happening. Looks like fear has started to fade. One thing that's worth mentioning, if you pull the skeletons or anybody into this room of death right here, you're not going to get XP for it. All of the skeletons that went in there and got killed, no XP for me. Rasad, you really need to stop doing that. Okay, fear finally faded on all of my characters. Sometimes when you sleep, you get ghasts like that. Okay, good. None of my characters got, Let me show you what happens when you run into the skeleton area willy-nilly. So, my characters here, they're going to run at the other skeletons, and they're going to start setting off the cloud kill traps. So these are the cloud kill traps that you see going off. You see my one character, he just got knocked unconscious. My main character, the one that can't die, actually. I guess I'll let Dorn and Rasad go do their thing. So as you can see, this is the worst outcome that we could have happened. And my characters would not survive this if it were not for the extra good potions that I have. Much like all traps, these cloud kills will last usually over a minute. You can see Ski and Nira are both lying down in the back. They still have not regained consciousness. And they failed all of their saving throws. So if my characters weren't basically extremely overpowered and using, well, just plain flat out, if they weren't extremely overpowered, this would have never have happened. They would have all died. So we're going to rest one more time because my characters are frozen in place from the ghasts, which is one of the more annoying things. There we go. Resting always breaks those long things, the long debuffs. There's also some traps in this room that I need to uncover. Come on, Ski, let's go, let's go, let's go. Find the traps, find the traps. They're like right next to you. There you go. So let me show you the rogues. And this will be the last of the 3 areas before we get to the final 4. So the rogues, the best way to deal with the rogues over here is to send your most tanky character out like this and basically have them be bait. The rogues will attack these tanky characters and backstab them. And obviously they will resist the majority of the damage. So there we just seen a rogue appear over here, which is very bad because he's going to be able to attack Nira and or Ski. So there, he attacked Almar, and he stabbed them for 17, 16 resisted. That is because Almar actually has somewhat decent gear on. He's not a completely squishy character. If he was a completely squishy character like Nira, that one hit would be enough to kill him. I guarantee you Nira would get one-shot by these Asheruku enemies. Well, I'd not guarantee you because my Nira is a little bit overpowered, but if she didn't have, 25 Constitution or 23 Constitution and was built like a brick shithouse because I used a bunch of books on her, then she would get one-shot. And aside from Asheruku enemies, the only other enemies you're going to fight in this side are the Greater Ghouls. Overall, not too bad. Again, we're just resting. Well, we didn't rest long enough to get the debuff taken off because we were attacked by this ghast. There we go. Debuff's gone. Really, the only other thing that's in here is a few more Asheruku enemies. There's some inside this little dead end there. And the traps in this area can be deadly too, for what it's worth. That's really all there is with that area. So for this section of 4 rooms right here, in each of these 4 rooms, there's going to be a different set of enemies. And that one trap that I hit on Ski, this is one of the more deadly ones, because it does this for quite a while. It just keeps, you know, shooting arrows over and over and over and over. Let me actually go out there and disable it.
I will listen for now.
As you can see, it did 17 points of damage, or sorry, 18 points of damage to her. She's regenning health. So this bottommost room right here, this room has 1 Phoenix Guard and 1 Phoenix Mage. I'm pretty sure that's their names. Phoenix Guard and... okay, 2 Phoenix Guards. So these enemies, when you kill them once, they reanimate. Obviously, there's the Phoenix. He blew up. And they also do that when they die. They blow up and explode and deal AoE fire damage to everybody that is in the radius.
It shall be even bloodier than you hoped.
This room has rogue enemies. They're air aspects right here. They work the same as the other rogue enemies. They just deal heavy damage to your squishy characters. Here's all the invisible stalkers that pop out. So basically just heal. That is the only thing you need to keep in mind for this area. Keep yourself alive. Don't die. Good rules to live by. So that's all. Actually, let me check to see if that's all, just to be sure. Yep, that's all. So this next area here, this has fission slimes in it. So fission slimes, they I will show you what they do. Let me can't rest it this time, that's fine. I only need really 1 fireball, or 2 fireballs anyway. So this is a fission slime. And what fission slimes do is if you don't use fire damage to kill them, they will they'll do that. They'll split and create 2 additional slimes. Again, if you don't use fire damage on those, well, it's not fire damage to kill them, it's if you don't use fire damage on them. They will keep splitting into additional slimes over and over and over and over. Which this has its uses. One use for this is it's very good XP. You can keep killing these slimes over and over for like 3k XP apiece. Apparently one of my characters deals some fire damage. Usually what you need to do on the fission slimes is hit them with fireballs or hit them with, you know, any type of fire damage whatsoever. Apparently one of my characters does, actually Nira, maybe she, I don't think magic missiles counts as fire damage, though. Sun Soul Ray. Maybe, Rasad is the one that was dealing fire damage. Yeah. Takes 10 fire damage from Rasad. So he deals fire damage with one of his attacks that I actually didn't even know about. But, I mean, it makes sense. He's a Sun Soul monk, so... But yeah, if you don't have somebody like Rasad in your team to deal fire damage, then you're going to have to use a mage that can deal fire damage. Somebody like Nira works, obviously. Wand of Fire, if you don't have Fireball or Agonar's Scorcher or any, you know, attack that deals fire damage, just have a Wand of Fire and same concept, you'll be able to do it. Make sure if you do use all of your Fireball spells while doing that fight, you do rest. This last room has just wolves and a bear, which it's nothing too impressive. The main thing you want to rest for, though, is what comes next. Because once you complete all 4 rooms, you're going to get teleported to the final chamber, which is the chessboard. When you arrive, the chessboard's going to explain the rules. So here is basically what you need to know. If you move around on this chessboard, lightning bolts are going to shoot out of the walls and hit your characters and deal heavy damage. You can get around this by using something like shoes that give you lightning resist. There are some boots in the game that you get quite commonly that give you lightning resist. Let me see if I can find my bag of holding. There it is. Let me find the shoes I'm thinking of. I think, yep, Talos' gift. 50% electrical resistance. You can get those early on in the game. Aside from those, you can also get potions of absorption. They will give you electrical resistance. Right here, potion of absorption. 100% electrical resist. So you could just drink one potion of absorption on everybody in your team and then run around, you know, as much as you want because you can't get damaged by electricity. Or you can also do this. Whereas one of your characters, if they have fireball, cast it in the like on the other side of the chessboard, like where you see me aiming my fireball. And she moved, which I did not want her to do. When you cast fireball like that, it will basically hit everything like you've seen right there. Usually they're not supposed to move though. So Nira got feared, which is not good. So now it's basically just going to be absolute chaos from this point out. Usually you can get like 3-4 fireballs off if none of your characters move. Sometimes because the AI in combat in this game isn't the best. That does happen though. And as you see there, Nira got obliterated, which after I finish this video, I'm actually going to save and reload because leaving the dungeon right now is not a good idea because at least I personally have encountered a bug on the second floor where if you leave and then come back, you can't get past the second floor and onto the third floor because the door is locked essentially. And I don't know how to open it again because the lever in the lever room doesn't open the door that I'm thinking of. And yeah, I wrote about it on my website though for those interested. But that is how to complete the entire third floor of Durlag's tower. In order to proceed to the fourth floor, you would just go through this door in the northeast right here, and you would be on the fourth floor. Chessboard is usually a little bit easier if you use an actual strategy. I used a very poor strategy, and it also went wrong because my characters moved. I don't know why. But stupid stuff like that does happen in games that are this old. But anyway, that's all there is to it. If this video helped you out, be sure to leave me a like because that helps me out. And if you guys have any additional questions, comments, concerns, or there's something I didn't address, please let me know in the comment section below. And aside from that, I guess I will see you guys around in part 4 of my Durlag's Tower walkthrough. Peace.